Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the first installment of Java with John. My name is John Maloney, and here's my Java. So I want to start out by thanking everybody for viewing in to my new YouTube channel and my new endeavor. I just want to point out something to everybody who doesn't know me, and perhaps those who do and have forgotten that I do have a vision problem. So I only see out of this eye about 5%. This eye is totally blind out of. It's actually fake. I tap it for people. I don't know, it kind of grosses people out. But anyways, right eye. So this is my center. So I'm going to try to look at the camera. If I look like I'm veering away, my apologies. It's just, with very little vision left, even doing a video, vlog, whatever you want to call this, is challenging yet fun. So why Java with John? Well, first off, I love my coffee, so it's Java with John. Why am I starting this YouTube channel? Well, about just over 5 months ago, I lost my job. Been living off savings ever since then and other stuff, settlement money, stuff like that, and got a good while to go yet, but I figured I need to do something different. I want to do something different. I love people. I enjoy interacting with people. I enjoy talking with people. And although this isn't interacting with people, I get to talk with people. I get to use this medium as well, hopefully as a springboard to a new career. I would love to do motivational speaking, enjoy leadership training. I've done some leadership training. I've done some training in the area of documentation, conflict management, in terms of teaching people, that is. And I've also trained in critical incident stress management. So yeah, motivational speaking, leadership training are a couple of things I'd love to do. Also comedy, perhaps stand-up comedy. I'd love to make people laugh, and hopefully I'll tell some jokes, and hopefully tasteful ones on this show, because I plan it to be one of those PG-13 rated shows in which pretty much everybody can enjoy. As well, I guess, wow, it'd be fun to have my own talk show on TV, I suppose, or even on the radio. I've been told I have a very good voice for, stuff like that, and so I might do some fun stuff with my voice, like, well, I'm Ronald Reagan, and I forgot what I was going to say. So those of you who know who Ronald Reagan is, that's my impersonation of Ronald Reagan. I can't do Obama. Can't do any other presidents. Maybe Bill Clinton a little bit. But anyways, I digress. So yeah, I just want to use this as a springboard and see what comes my way. The struggle with finding a job is that people don't hire. People tend not to, I should say. It's not that they don't. Sometimes understand my disability or other disabilities, and there might be a little bit of a unknown kind of entity in terms of hiring someone who's disabled, whether it be, especially physical disability. And me with my vision problem, it stands out. I use a cane to get around. Sometimes I wear sunglasses if it's bright out, but rarely do I do that, so it's hard to, it's hard, right? So statistically, I think it's 2/3 of Canadians, which I'm from Alberta, Canada, who are legally blind, which even means better vision than I have. I don't know what constitutes legally blind actually, but again, 2/3 of those people are unemployed, right? And I'm one of those 2/3, and I figure the less vision someone has, the less employable they are, which is unfortunate because I believe I have a lot of talents and I have a lot to offer, and I showed that with 22 years with the organization I was with. Fortunately, there were some struggles there at the end, and I don't want to go into it because I don't think that's fair. But let's just say struggles which, our vice president, so basically head of our division, decided to let me go. Unfortunately, we didn't have the strongest relationship. But that's a whole other story, and I might talk about it at some point in time. But right now, I do want to say, and I do want to ask that if people know the agency I worked for before, please don't put it in the comments on the YouTube channel, because it is a great organization. They do great work. unfortunately, I think just like in all organizations, sometimes there's people in positions that perhaps they need to examine why they're there and the reasons they're there, and that's really all I'm going to say about that. So I was a little bit about myself. I'm 44. My shaved head might be a little red because I just finished shaving it about half an hour, 45 minutes ago. Excuse me. I'm just going to grab a sip of coffee here because after all, it's Java with John. Anyways, I'm 44 years old. I shaved my head. I like this look. Started it actually probably about a month after I lost my job. I just growing the goatee. I had a goatee probably about 10, 15 years ago, and I just think it's fun to have. It's hard to keep up, especially having to. I shave more by feel than by sight, so I think one of my friends said I was a little bit too nitpicky about it. So, So I was a supervisor for probably about a third, if not a little more than a third of my career. I worked with children who had, who were physically aggressive, sexually aggressive, children and teenagers, I should say, and they had really sucky lives. So my goal in life, my goal when I was on the front lines was to ensure, first and foremost, and actually I hope I can bring this to the show, is let's have fun. Let's enjoy our lives. Let's laugh. Sometimes people go through really sucky things. I know I've gone through really sucky things. And sometimes you just gotta, you gotta deal with it, but sometimes you just gotta laugh too. Sometimes you just have to see the humor in things. And laugh. So I tried to make people laugh, and I think that's where I kind of got my crazy, wacky sense of humor, which who knows I may display in this or other episodes of my program. And like I said, I was a supervisor for about a third of my career, somewhere between 8 and 9 years of my 22-year career. So that's probably actually more like, that's about a third, maybe almost half. And I enjoyed that as well. Part of it was in a program. Actually in various, I probably supervised 2 or 3 programs. And it was fun, like staff. I really love team building. I think team is everything when you're working. And we need to remember that clients are part of that team, whether if you're working at a Walmart or a Costco or Canadian Tire, the clients are customers, right? Different people refer to them as different things. But I also believe that staff are just as important because, and I'm going to actually do a show on this, but basically without the staff, you can't serve clients. So I think people really need to remember that who are in managerial positions in whatever organization, company they work with. And sometimes I'm really trying to stop doing this, and as I go, and I apologize for that. That's my quirk when I'm speaking. So again, my apologies. So where do we go from here? My goal for the show, again, and I don't know, again, I'm not scripted. But again, I'd like to talk about different topics. Once I set up my YouTube channel, which I actually haven't done yet, I'm hopefully to do tonight. Because actually, I was thinking March 1st would be a good time to premiere my videos. However, I think February 29th is even cooler because there's only one every 4 years. So I'm hoping to probably have these up online by February 29th, and it's February 28th, so time's a ticking. And I would like to do a talk show format. I have a Bluetooth for my cell phone, so have people call in. I don't know how to do live broadcasts. I'm maybe play with that in the future, but my plan is this is my third take. Hopefully, it works out well. My first 2 takes, for some odd reason, my top of my head was chopped off. So, although it looked kind of cool, let's just do it. So hopefully it shows my whole head this time. I don't have to do it again. So, I could have people call. I want to have guests as well on my show. because I want this to be something dynamic, something that can change. I want to hear comments from people, what they'd like to talk about, what they'd like to hear about. I have some plans for my show talking. I think one is going to focus on my vision problem and the struggles I had. One's probably be focused on leadership. Might do some comedy stuff, motivational stuff. But I really want to hear from people who are watching the show what they would like to hear from me, or if they have any questions, right, about my upbringing, stuff like that. I also want this to be a show that potential employers could watch to see my depth, to see, and some things that I might talk about might scare them away. So I'd actually like to be self-employed, going around to schools, going around to companies, corporations, organizations, and do some motivational speaking, because I think I am very good at motivating people. Actually, I know I'm good at motivating people. And part of it was, I think, me modeling that regardless of your disability, you're valuable and you can do things, right? And everybody, whether they have a disability or not a disability, everybody has something to offer. Everybody has something to contribute. They just got to figure out what it is, and sometimes people have to help them out what it is. To figure out what it is, my apologies. So, yeah, that's my hopes for the show. And I think, I think this is going to be it for my first show. And I was talking to a friend who is actually, what is it called? Actually, after a friend suggested a YouTube channel to get myself out there, I was talking to another friend about a YouTube channel, and he said, it's good to have a little catchphrase at the end or at the beginning that people can remember you by. So I think my tagline / catchphrase is going to be yourself, because nobody else can. And I'm going to take not one final sip of my coffee, because I got a bit more here, but one final sip for the end of the show. Again, thanks for tuning in. I'm just going to chat a bit while I find my off button on my camera. And I really appreciate your comments, your feedback. And again, I really appreciate you tuning in to Java with John.